Hello my friends and welcome back. Today I have two thrift flips to share with you, so let's get started. Today's first project is this wooden wall sconce. I really love the shape of it and the fact that it had a chimney on it, which reminds me so much of the oil lamps that I love so much. However, I'm not a big fan of the dark stain, so I'm going to try to remove the stain and give it a raw wood look. So the first thing I'm going to do is use a citrus strip. It is a stripping gel that you can use indoors. And I'm going to apply a very thick layer of this with a simple paintbrush. I allowed it to sit for about 45 minutes and then I used a paint scraper to remove the gel and the stain. I've used this product before in many videos, so I won't bore you with all the details. But once I had the gel removed and it all cleaned up, it was time to do a little bit of sanding. So I have a sanding block, a detail sander, which is the yellow one I showed you, and regular old medium grit sandpaper, which I started out with. The stripping gel did a really good job of removing most of it, but there was a few little spots that I needed to use some elbow grease to remove the last remaining bits of stain. So I went ahead and sanded the whole thing down with an 80 grit sandpaper, and once that was done, I finished up smoothing it all out with a 120 grit sandpaper to give it a nice smooth finish. To seal and protect the wood, I used Decor's Clear Ultra Matte Varnish. This is one of my favorite top coats to use, and I gave my project 2 thin coats. With my project complete, I decided to replace our sconce I had hanging on this tiny wall next to my hutch in my living room. I think it's going to work out perfectly here. I then went ahead and dug through my candle collection looking for a candle that would work nicely with the sconce, and I came up with this spiral candle. I love these so much. I believe they're vintage. I can't be certain, of course, but I do remember back when I was a kid, it seemed like everyone had these spiral candles in their homes during that time, so it's kind of fun to use it for this project. Once I had the candle lit, I went ahead and added the chimney to the base, and I think this turned out so neat. I am now loving the color and tone of the wood. I think it's absolutely beautiful. And to tell you the truth, I've never been a very big fan of these wooden wall sconces, but this one I can totally get into. It gives the space a nice pop of worn textured wood and helps blend the other wicker and wood pieces I have throughout the room to create a cozy space. Today's second project is this gorgeous mid-century glass lamp that I found at the thrift store. I am absolutely in love with this. The electrical cord itself is frayed and scary looking, so I decided just to cut it off. And if I ever want to use this as a lamp in the future, I can just easily rewire the lamp itself. So after removing the lamp, I went ahead and wiped the whole thing down because it seemed pretty grungy. I just used a mild soap and water solution, and after I got that done, oh my goodness, did it start sparkling. So the next thing I wanted to do was to paint the light bulb socket to better mimic the tarnished brass on the base of the lamp. Using painter's tape, I covered any section that I didn't want to get paint on. And then I pulled out one of my acrylic paints. This one is Pearl Deep Brown by Arteza. And I'm going to apply it with this stippling or stencil brush. All I needed was a tiny bit of paint, and I dipped my paintbrush in it and then dabbed it off before applying it onto the lamp socket. So as you can see, I just kind of pounced it on using just a small amount of paint at one time. I did not want to completely cover the whole surface. I wanted some of the bright brass to show through in certain areas to make it look more like the original brass. One light coat of paint was all I needed to achieve the look I was going for. I allowed the paint to dry for a couple hours, and then I brought the lamp base up into my bedroom and set it on my bedside table. This is where I plan to use it. I found this item at the thrift store as well. It is meant to go on candlesticks to dress it up a bit, and I thought it would look absolutely gorgeous on my lamp base. So I went ahead and slipped it over the light socket and then let it rest down on the switch of the lamp, and it balanced itself perfectly there, and I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. The next thing I did was add a candle into the socket and lit the candle, and with that, my project was complete. And now I have myself a brand new vintage candle holder, which I think is absolutely gorgeous and adds a little bit of glam into my bedroom space. I don't know about you, but I love this project so much. It's so easy and quick, and it looks absolutely gorgeous. I am definitely going to be looking for some more vintage lamps that I can turn into candle holders. Well, my friends, that is going to be it for me today. I hope you enjoyed today's projects. I would love to know what you think down in the comments, and I will see you very soon in my next video. Bye now.